Good day, everybody, and welcome back to the flight deck. We are here in Washington, DC, continuing our tour of the U.S. capitals. Today we are flying north up to the capital of the great state of Pennsylvania, which is actually Harrisburg, not Philadelphia or Pittsburgh, as people might think, but up in Harrisburg. It's not too far a distance, about 80 miles, and weather is good for us. We'll be taking off to the north on runway 01, and we're going to do the visual departure up the Potomac River, so we'll get some nice views of Washington as we fly out. So let's hop on board. We'll jump into the cockpit, and while we do that, just a reminder, we're trying to get to 700 subscribers by the end of summer, so if you are watching and you haven't subscribed yet, please consider doing so. You can also like the video. And if you want to support what I do and help the channel and keep us flying in all these interesting places and aircraft that we do, you can consider joining as well. Some extra perks come along with that. You can take a look under the join button and check it out. But here we are in the cockpit of the DC-3. It is looking good. We got the windows open. It's a beautiful day down here in DC. Temperature is currently 31 degrees. It is hot, and but the winds are pretty calm. But they have been out of the north for the most part today, so we're going to be taking off on runway 01. So we'll get the aircraft up and ready to go. We'll just do our checks. We'll make sure the throttles are closed, props are fully back, and mixture is in the cutoff position. We'll come up top now. We will get them to hook up the battery cart, and we're now got power being supplied to the aircraft. You can hear the gyros coming up. Everybody's on board in the back, so we'll get the doors closed. You can hear them shutting as well. Alright, so we're not going to be going up too high today. I think an altitude of about 5,000 feet should be good. We are here at DC. We are on multiplayer, so there are a few aircraft in the area and that are buzzing around, so we'll be able to see some of them as well. Okay, with the power up and everything loaded, we can start getting the aircraft ready to go. So we'll get the beacon light on, let them know we're about to start up. That's all good down there. We're going to start the right engine first, so we'll turn the mags there on both. We're going to come down here now. We'll get the fuel over to the main tanks. There's the left side and the right side. And if we come up, we can check our fuel, and we can see our fuel is good. About 95 gallons in each, which is more than enough to get us where we are going today. Alright, so we're starting up, like I said, on the right side engine. So we're going to turn the right side generators on. We will turn the boost pump on that side so we get fuel pressure. We're going to come up, we're going to put the mixture all the way up to rich. You can see our fuel pressure coming up. Propeller is going to go fully forward, and we're going to crack the throttle about an inch. And we're then going to energize the right engine. That's going to start the flywheel spinning. You can hear that starting to come up now. And once that becomes a continuous level tone, that means she's spinning at speed. We're now going to mesh it, and then we will click the right primer, inject some fuel in there. Everything else is looking good. And there we go. Good start on that engine. So that we got some jets around us. Nothing down at this end of the airfield. We did see one taxiing over there a little while ago. So we get to start on there. We'll come over now. We'll turn the mags on for the left engine over to both. Same process. Mixture is going to go to auto rich. Propeller is fully forward. Throttle cracked to about an inch. I'm going to energize the left engine. It's starting to wind up. That sounds constant. And we will mesh the left and hit the left prime. Squirt some fuel in there. And there we go. So that's both engines now up and running. They're going to take a minute to get themselves settled in. We'll close the windows now. There we go. Windows are now closed on both sides. So we'll let the engines come up. We're going to switch over to our aircraft battery. There's the generators are on. We're now over onto the aircraft battery, and we'll have them disconnect the cart out the front. Avionics can now come on. We'll get our position lights on, pitot heat on. Everything else is good up top. Get that boost pump on, and we're good there. So we're going to be flying out. We're going to be heading eventually up towards the EMI beacon, which is the, let me just pull it up here, 117.9 is the frequency we're going to be doing on that one. So 117.9. We'll get that in. We're only going to use the one. It's the only one we're going for. And just for sake of habit, 122.8 is our Unicom frequency, and we're going to go 121.5 on 2, which is guard. I've mentioned what guard's used for in other videos, but basically it's a monitoring frequency. Alright, engines are up. We'll bring the RPMs up to an even 1,000. There we go, all looking very good. We're also going to come back here now, and I'm going to switch the engine pump selector over. That means we're going to have access to our gyro pilot. There we go. And everything is looking good there. Although we're going to hand fly it out for the first little bit as we go. And initial heading is going to be about 0-1, so we'll get that in. And it's starting to sound like we are pretty good here. So manifold pressures, let's ease those back slightly. On the RPMs down to 1,000. Oil pressures are looking good. Fuel pressures are looking good. Temperatures are all good. That's all good over there. Cowl flaps are both set to open. Lights are on. Nav is set. Avionics are set. Boost pumps are on. All our switches are set. We are good to taxi. Hey, Liam, good to see you. Thanks for coming by and joining us. So we're going to taxi out to runway 01. We're going to go via Kilo Papa Charlie, crossing runway 04, and then Echo. All right. You might not want to be standing there, but that's fine. Brakes are released. Head out to the taxi line here. So again, we should get some good visuals as we come off the runway and fly up the Potomac. Same path that we took coming in when we saw everything as we flew in a couple weeks ago. Flight's just about an hour. I think the airtime is 51 minutes, Liam. So here we are on Kilo. I'm going to follow this around. And again, we do have aircraft in the area. We are on multiplayer. This is Whiskey here. We turn on the name tags. You can see a few different aircraft in the area. Alright, here's Papa and Charlie. And we're going to cross runway 04. As mentioned, we're heading out to 01. Alright, so we'll come out here to Juliet here, and for runway 01, get on the brakes. Alright, brakes are set. Come out here, we're going to turn on the landing lights. Position lights are on, lights are bright, windshield heat not required, PO heat's on, engine primer fine, anti-ice not required. Altitude switch is set 200 feet. We are good on the match. Boost pumps are on, generators are on, cockpit lights are off. Final temperatures and pressures, RPM's looking good, fuel pressure, oil temperatures, everything else is looking good. Engines are coming up to temperature. It is hot out as well. We're all good there. We will set the barometer to our temperature with or pressure 2 and 3. All right, so that's almost standard. There we go. It is now set. I think we're good to roll out and take position. All right. Approach path is clear. Flaps going to 1 notch. There we go. You can see the Washington Monument off in the distance. Everything is looking good. All right. So Allegheny 100 or 110 taking off runway 01 on the visual departure up the Potomac at Washington. Let's bring the power up. Brakes are released. 40 inches. Takeoff power is set. A little bit of forward pressure, bring the tail up, help reduce drag and help our acceleration. There we go. Working the rudders, keeping us going here. Good, there's 80 knots, a little bit of back pressure. And we are up. Positive rate, gear up. Gear is up. There's the Jefferson Memorial. I can see the Washington Monument all looking very nice. We're going to cross over the bridges here. There's the Pentagon. And we get the flaps up. Looking good. We're just going to follow the river now. Downtown Washington. There's the mall. Lincoln Memorial. There's the reflecting pool. U.S. Capitol building, and of course the White House over there. And I was just there a couple weeks ago, back in July, early July. All right. I'm gonna keep climbing up as we follow the river. It's Arlington National Cemetery. There's the Iwo Jima Memorial. And this is, of course, I think Fairfax, Virginia, on this side of the Potomac. All right, so let's get this turned around. I'm going to bring on the autopilot. Bit of a climb going here. Follow the river. Everything is looking good. So we can come back to our climb power setting now, which I should have done before. 2,500 RPM and 35 inches. .737 going into there. It looks like they're doing a direct overflight of Washington, which is not allowed. Well, that's okay. So let's tune in our VOR here. We can see we want to be heading at about a 50-degree angle, so we're going to come around to roughly 50 degrees, and then we will figure out where we're going to adjust from there. There's 2,000 feet. Back over this way. We're still climbing. A good rate of climb going now. So EMI is the Westminster VOR, which is in New York, actually. So we'll be crossing from Washington to New York, and then from New York over to Pennsylvania by the looks of it. There's DC leaving. All right, so let's work our way around. So we're heading towards the needle there. So we're going on to if we dial this to our heading, which is about 50 degrees. There, we want to be heading at about 20. So we're going to come back to about a 20-degree heading. Coming up for 4,000 feet. We'll level at 4,000. Looking good. So now we're heading up towards the beacon. We can probably make a slight couple clicks adjustment. 4,000 feet coming up. So we're going to start leveling off. That'll be good for getting our speed up. There we go. Now we look at our cylinder head temperatures, everything is looking good. The speed is starting to come up. We're going to keep adding in a little bit of down trim to keep pushing that nose down so she doesn't start climbing on us. And we're going to come back to our cruise power setting. So 2,000 RPMs is set. 30 inches of pressure is set. Readjust 2,000 RPM is set. Get that nose down for acceleration. Is set. Mixture both engines back to auto lean. And cowl flaps go to trail. Alright, we're now cruising. Okay, very nice. Let's turn those off. I'll grab a picture for the Discord. Oops, wrong one. There we go. So Pennsylvania, named after William Penn, the man that the lands were given to by the British monarch to settle. Used to be a lot bigger than they are now, but they have decreased over time until their borders were finalized. Beautiful country, Pennsylvania. Lovely mountains. The Alleghenies going through there. Love driving through there. So we're going to be doing a landing on runway 31 at Harrisburg. Winds are 290 at 6 knots. Currently 10 miles of visibility. There's a few clouds kicking around. There should be a cloud layer at about 7,000 feet. Barrel is standard 2992. No other information on the weather, so it should be fairly good. We're going to come down and overfly the field and do a right hand pattern. We're looking at a field elevation of 300 feet, so it'll be about a 1,300 foot pattern that we will fly over. 10,000 foot runway, so it should be good. The airport is located on the other side of a river, so it should be fairly easy to spot. We've got a slight climb going, so we're going to give it 2 notches down trim. So the airport's on about a 40-degree heading after we cross the EMI VOR. But we'll pretty much be doing this all visually. We're going to fly up towards the town of York, and then we should see the river from there. We're only 4,000 feet, so it shouldn't be too hard to see. A good cruise speed building up. We're at 170 knots. Slowly coming down to that 4,000 feet. Lovely airplane to fly. This is the in-game DC-3 with the mod. I want to say Skunk Works, but it's not Skunk Works. It's the, oh, I can't remember the name of the mod. You get it on flightsim.to, but adds a lot of improvements to it. And let's see if I can get the name for you. I gotta see if I can find where it shows my mods. How to get into that section, since they went and revamped the entire thing. Trending, bestsellers, discounts, popular creators, here we go, my downloads. It is the this might take a bit to find. Duckworth. Duckworth DC-3. See if I can find it. Huh. Yeah, Duckworks. Not Duckworth, Duckworks. Duckworks DC-3, that's it. Really improves the aircraft. Anyway, we're coming up to the VOR. See the angle starting to change. It's just out over here. And we're still descending, so we're going to click a couple spots back in. And we're going to now head about 030. I will go 025. About 48 miles to go. And we are coming up on the little town of Westminster. Just over here. Do our checks. Everything is looking good. Temperatures, air temperatures, cylinder head temperatures, pressures are all good. Keep the engine manifold pressure and RPM set. We're looking good. Ground coloring is supplied by Rex Seasons. Looking very nice out there, nice summer colors. Everything in full bloom and probably a little bit brown from the heat we've been having. Gotta say, the weather in Sim's been really good. We flew into, when I was off for those 2 weeks, I did a test flight with the pup to see how she would be. And we flew into Yellowknife from Edmonton, and because of the wildfires up there, actually pretty reduced visibility in that haze as we came in. It was rather interesting to see. All right, we're going to turn back to about a 2020 heading. We're flying by the VOR now. Now we're just kind of eyeball straight shotting it out towards the airfield. And there's the town coming up below us. A little bit of wind rocking. We're getting some turbulence here. Climbing back up to 4,000 feet. Again, we were flying all of the lower 48 states capitals, working our way from New England all the way out to the West Coast. And as mentioned today, we left Washington, D.C. and we're heading up to the capital of the state of Pennsylvania, which is Harrisburg. And that's where we are headed right now. Ground speed of about 156 knots, so it won't take us too long to get there. I am going to tune in the ILS frequency. I do have it set up for runway 31 as a reference. So the frequency is 110.9. So get that dialed in. Switch that over, 110.9 on VOR 1. See, this has gone dead, but that's fine. We're going to be flying in on a heading of 308. So we'll get this set up for that. So it's going to be about there. We should get it there as well, and we'll dial it in on here as a reference. 308 is about there. So 1,300 feet, we'll cross overhead the field. We should be good. There's a few towers at 1,000 feet around, but our MSA of 3,400. But we're going to be within sight of the airport, and we'll have fairly clear skies, so it shouldn't be an issue. See with the cowl flaps and trail, they've just come down to a slightly open. They'll automatically adjust given the temperature inside the engine, keeping the engine at the optimum temperature, which is a neat feature. See us get a little bit of bounce there over the terrain with the air mass and the winds. Town of Hanover are coming up. Hanover right there. We're going to pass just on the eastern side of it as we head up towards Pennsylvania. There's some greater land, Alleghenies coming up. You can see them off in the distance on the horizon. Do a quick check around. Everything is looking very, very good. There's those big Pratt & Whitney radial engines running away there. And of course, if you want to sit in the back, well, there's the entryway in. I think I've got views set up in the back. Oh, no, I don't. Interesting. Thought I had interior views. So 30 miles to go. At about 20 miles, we're going to start down. Okay, we are passing by Hanover. Looking good. The ILS just kicked in. We're picking it up. It's showing, yep, it's ahead of us. Not crucial as of yet. I'm just watching our radio altimeter here. Everything's good. We're about 25 miles or so out. So we should see another little airfield. Just over here, it's a little York airfield. Just watching our altitude. So we flew the last flight in our around the world tour in the A320. That was on Monday. We flew from Keflavik, Iceland down to Newcastle in England, and that rounded up our world tour. 33 legs, took us to some amazing places as we circled the Earth. We have a week off, and then we're coming back. We're flying the ATR in a series, which should be good. The next series that will be ending will be in a couple weeks. We'll be finishing the Aurora series, flying the 737 out of Vancouver. I think we're going to be transferring bases and transferring airline divisions within Fly UK, and we will be going to, there's the airfield over there. We're going to be going to, I believe, Satan, and we're going to be flying the 737 for them. I believe our first base of operations, they have 3 for the 737, but our first base of operations is going to be out of Denver, Colorado. So that will be in a few weeks. We got 2 more flights to do with Aurora down to Portland, Oakland, California and back. It'll be over the next couple weeks. There's that airfield, York Airfield. And then off in the distance, we have Spring Grove, and then the bigger town over here of York itself. So there's 20 miles, so we're going to start nose downing, a little bit nose down. We'll let the aircraft start to slow a little, or descend a little bit, about 400 feet per minute should be good. Again, we're going down to 1,300 feet, so we're only going to lose about 3,000. See the terrain getting a little bit more steep as we come up here. And if we look off in the distance, there's the river. So the airfield we want is just off our right nose over this way. So we're going to pass overhead the field and then fly down and loop around and come back in. Glide slope and localizer are showing. It's roughly 308. That's good. So as we begin our final descent down here into Harrisburg, please consider liking and subscribing to the channel. And if you want to help with us, as mentioned, you can join the channel. A few extra perks, some members-only Discord channels, and you'll have the opportunity at the flight deck level or flight deck crew level of suggesting aircraft and flights for the future. So that is there. So we're going to make a little bit of a turn to 30 degrees now, and we should be heading right towards the airfield. Bit of a freeze. Sound is still going, so that's a good thing. There we go, we're back. Just looking at the islands here, I think the airfield's just over here. A lot of industry. Of course, we are in Pennsylvania, big steel country. 40. Let's go to 50 degrees, see if we can see it. So we got a power plant or something here. There's the airfield over there. 3,000 feet. Alright, so we're going to take over now. Shut off the autopilot, or the gyro pilot. Pull back on the power. And we're heading down to 1,300 feet. Okay, landing lights are still on, position lights are on, we're all good up there. Heading for the airfield again, it's on the other side of the river. And we can see that terrain starting to get a little bit rougher here, a little bit more hilly. So we're 900 feet above circuit height. Flying over the little village of Green Valley. Now the airport is right on the river. In fact, I think I see it right there in front of us. Right on the other side. There she is. So we're going to come over this ridge line here. Descending down. Nuclear reactor, or maybe a gas generator, but power plant there. And there's the town of Harrisburg up there on the other side of the river. Alright, so mixture is going to auto rich, props going full forward. We are flying overhead the field. You can hear the beacons. 1,400 feet. Across overhead the airport. Alright, we're going to turn basically to a 120 heading. That will be our downwind. Again, we're in a right-hand pattern. Just got to watch the terrain. That really shouldn't be an issue. Basically want to get the needle going in the opposite direction there, as you can see in the bottom. There we go. Looking good. Flying over Middletown. Alright, so lights are on. There's the ILS needles and everything. Don't really got to worry about that at the moment, although we will use it to just make sure we are lined up. Get ourselves back so we're not crowding in too much. Go back about a 120. All right, so start bringing the power back. Flaps 1. Props fully forward, mixers fully forward. Gear down. We'll make our turn here. We'll just bring her right around to intercept. We're going to go right to our 20 degree bank. Keep that speed above 100. Quick runway check. There it is. All right, speed back. Flaps 2. There's the line coming in. We just blew through the center line. That's fine. We're bringing it around. See, we're below the glide slope, or above the glide slope is coming down to intercept. That's fine. Flaps 3. There's 80 knots. Flaps full. So gear down. Mixtures full. Auto rich. Props fully forward. Airfield's in sight. No need to fly it down right at stall speed, so we'll keep it just above 85 knots, 85 to 90. We're a little high, but we're flying it on the visual, so that we're not worried about that too much. Using the power to adjust our pitch, keeping that speed around 85 or so. Happy lights, of course, are set for a 3-degree approach angle for airliners. We're not doing that. It's a good reference. If we look down, you can see we're, the glide slope's below us, but we're pretty much on the localizer. Coming down at a steeper angle. Aiming for the touchdown zone. We're over the edge of the field. See, over the threshold, we do have a displaced runway. And there's the actual runway threshold. 80 knots. Down. Keep her on the center line. Pushing that nose forward. Just letting the aircraft slow down on its own. And once we start running out of forward yoke, we'll just ease it off, let the tail come down. Basically, it's called flying the tail. There she is. Welcome to Harrisburg. We'll go for the next exit. And we'll taxi back up to the terminal. Big flaps up. We're off at Charlie. We're going to taxi up to Delta, and then we'll head for the terminal over there. Okay, we come up, turn off those landing lights. We can put the cowl flaps open again. Get some air in there. Keep the engines about 1,000 RPM, and we will taxi in. Taxi over here. We're not going to go to the jetways. We will park it here by these pumps. Spin her around. And there we go. Parking brake is now on. And we are ready to shut down the aircraft. Alright, so pitot heat can come off, position light will come off, avionics will come off. And we'll shut them down. So right engine. And the left engine. There we go. Alright, so we'll turn off the boost pumps. We'll get them to hook up the battery cart. Switch over to battery power. Beacon light can come off now. Avionics are off. Generators are off. Eggs are off. Put the fuel off on both sides. Fuel is off. Open up the doors in the back. And we'll get the battery cart. Yeah. Get the battery cart and everything set up. There we go. Everyone's getting off. We made it to Pennsylvania. Thank you very much for following along. Once again, we're trying to hit that 700 by the end of summer for our subscriber count. Please consider subscribing, liking the video, sharing. And if you want to help support us, you can join the channel as well. Come over to our Discord, say hi. Discord links are in the video description and also now going up into the chat. So thank you very much once again for coming along and flying, and we will see you all on the next one. We're back Friday flying Aurora 737 out of Vancouver. Take care. We'll see you then. Bye for now.